My upbringing is on the Mexico-U.S. border. I was born in Mexico. As a child, I was one of the people that would walk up to your car and knock on the window for you to buy some gum, crossing the border. And that, in essence, brought me to understand what the need for justice was at a very early stage. My parents were farm workers. I came across into San Diego County. And again, I think that was, I remember sitting on pesticide spraying rigs. While my father was driving the tractor, the daycare was the top of the pesticide rig. I think it's very, very important that we understand the history of and the renaissance and maybe the growing pains of labor and the environment. We were butting heads with labor around the North American Free Trade Agreement and with mainstream groups. And it was very, very hard to come to the table and say, hey, you know, our communities have had this type of process of, you know, exchange of goods and services and things since 1965, and we're no better off. So for us, it was very important to educate labor. And we started doing environmental justice tours into Mexico, where we wouldn't take them to see, you know, the flashy things. We would take them into a community where people were living in houses made out of pallets and cardboard. And we had a lot of labor leaders eat at the same table as those workers in the maquilas. And had them understand that when labor was talking about Mexicans are taking our jobs, this is what they were looking forward to. As we came together, you know, there was this, I remember sitting down, and Pam probably remembers this, when the OCAW, Oil, Chemical, and Atomic Workers Union, a union, by the way, that the workers came to us and said, we make some of the most vile, poisonous things on the planet. And we see the writing on the wall that this is not sustainable, so let's work together on a just transition. It was the workers that came and did that process. So again, it's very, very important that when we came to the table, they said, well, you know, we'll come to an agreement with you and you guys can come and do work on these sites with us, but you need to promise not to picket the plants that we work at. And our response back was, okay, then you give up your right to strike. When we need to picket outside a plant because there's problems happening health-wise, contamination-wise, or other things, you will be at the table and you will be invited to that. And you can agree to disagree, but we need at some point to take these issues into our own hand. It'd be better if you were out, you know, by our side. So we started doing that. It's very, very crucial to have union workers and non-affiliated workers as part of the response to the community needs. Because sometimes, and I'll be very truthful, across that table, and Pam's right there, across that table, one of the things we said was that we happen to be the color and the people that do the work that sometimes union workers don't want to do. We are the ones that are asked to go and clean the chemical tanks when the union does not want to do it. So it's imperative that the unions understand that those are the people that they also have to unionize and recruit into their system so that everybody's protected. We can't pit labor or work and the environment. And if we do, it's an economic extortion, and we are not playing it. We do not want anybody's health, anybody's work, or anybody's environment to suffer just because one person gets a job.